Welcome back to ABCGH Spoilers channel. Today, we unravel the tangled web of drama, deception, and intrigue in the latest episode of General Hospital, airing Tuesday, February 11th. This episode promises to shake the very foundation of Port Charles with shocking revelations, strained alliances, and ominous confrontations. As tensions rise and secrets come to light, no one is safe. Let's break it all down. Ava Jerome's mysterious encounter and Sasha's emotional rebellion. Christina Corinthos Davis is no stranger to drama, but she finds herself particularly unsettled when she unexpectedly crosses paths with Ava Jerome. Christina has always been perceptive, and this time is no different. She senses something is amiss. As she presses Ava with pointed questions, an unspoken tension fills the air. Is Christina on the verge of uncovering something explosive, or is Ava simply guarding her usual secrets? Meanwhile, across town, an emotionally charged intervention unfolds with Felicia Scorpio and Cody Bell desperately trying to get through to Sasha Gilmore Corbin. Sasha, still grappling with immense grief and personal turmoil, is in no mood to hear advice, especially from those she believes don't truly understand her pain. Instead of responding with gratitude, she lashes out, making her stance crystal clear by storming off in frustration. Felicia and Cody exchange concerned glances. Has their attempt to help just made things worse? Sasha's reaction suggests a deeper emotional crisis bubbling beneath the surface. Could her unpredictable behavior be leading her down a dangerous path? Jason Morgan's heated showdown with Tracy Quartermaine. Tensions reach a boiling point at the illustrious Quartermaine mansion as Jason Morgan storms in with a single burning question: why does Tracy Quartermaine trust Drew Cain so much? His intense stare is unwavering as he demands answers. Tracy, never one to be intimidated, meets Jason's gaze head-on. But even she hesitates for a brief moment before responding. Could there be more to Drew's involvement with the Quartermaine family than meets the eye? Jason certainly seems to think so, and he's not about to let the matter drop without a fight. His instincts have never failed him before, and this time is no different. He knows something isn't adding up. The tension between Jason and Tracy is palpable, and their exchange hints at a much larger power struggle brewing beneath the surface. Elsewhere, a completely different dilemma unfolds as Martin Gray corners Willow Tate Corinthos with a deeply personal question: does she really want a divorce? The weight of the question lingers heavily in the air. Willow knows the truth. Her growing closeness to Drew Cain has complicated everything. If she continues down this path, she may have to make a choice sooner rather than later. Is she prepared to sever ties with the past and embrace an uncertain future? Carly and Nina's dangerous game: how far is too far? In a shocking turn of events, two of the most formidable women in Port Charles, Carly Spencer and Nina Reeves, find themselves forming a reluctant alliance. While their history is riddled with animosity and betrayals, they now share a common goal: protecting their grandchildren from Willow's increasingly complicated personal life. But Carly, never one to shy away from bold action, takes things a step further. In a chilling conversation, she asks Nina a question that could change everything: how far are you willing to go to eliminate Drew Cain? The words hang ominously between them, hinting at a potentially deadly plan. The gravity of the moment is not lost on Nina. She knows Carly isn't speaking in riddles. She's asking a direct question with real consequences. Is Carly suggesting something as extreme as murder? Or does she have an entirely different kind of elimination in mind? Regardless, one thing is clear: once this conversation takes place, there's no turning back. The fall of Cyrus Renault, a villain's desperate move. Across town, an entirely different kind of power struggle is unfolding, and this one is bound to end in chaos. Cyrus Renault has long been a force to be reckoned with, but now, for the first time in a long time, he is losing control. His downfall is already in motion. Rick Lansing and Elizabeth Liz Baldwin have been quietly gathering evidence against him, and Cyrus knows it. The walls are closing in, and he's growing more paranoid by the day. His once unshakable grip on power is slipping, and he's fully aware that someone has been snooping around his affairs. To make matters worse, Cyrus has been officially banned from turning woods, cutting him off from a key element of his influence. With his world unraveling, the ruthless villain is left with one choice: act unpredictably and eliminate the threats before they eliminate him. But an unpredictable Cyrus Renault is the most dangerous kind. He's never been one to back down, and if he feels cornered, there's no telling what he might do. Could this be the moment when he finally snaps, unleashing chaos in a way that no one sees coming? Jocelyn Jack's cryptic apology, a deadly omen? The final, and perhaps most chilling, development of the episode comes from Jocelyn Jax. In a moment of unexpected vulnerability, she is seen issuing a heartfelt apology. But to whom? Speculation runs rampant, but one theory stands out: Jocelyn is apologizing to the killer of Dex Heller. The mere thought is unsettling. Jocelyn has never been the type to back down, especially not when it comes to justice. But Anna Devane's recent warning looms large over the situation. Could Jocelyn have realized too late that her actions have placed her in grave danger? Even more unsettling is the possibility that the recipient of her apology is none other than Cyrus Renault himself. If that's the case, Jocelyn may have just made the gravest mistake of her life. While Cyrus might outwardly accept her words, everyone knows one undeniable truth: he does not forgive, and he does not forget. If Jocelyn has indeed stepped into the lion's den, she may be on borrowed time. Final thoughts: what's next for Port Charles? As this explosive episode unfolds, it's clear that no one in Port Charles is safe. Every conversation, every confrontation, and every decision made in this hour will have ripple effects that could last for weeks, if not longer. Will Jason uncover the real reason behind Tracy's unwavering trust in Drew? Can Carly and Nina's fragile alliance hold, or is their deadly conversation about to spiral out of control? How much longer can Cyrus Renault keep his empire intact before his enemies finally bring him down? And perhaps the biggest question of all: has Jocelyn's apology sealed her fate forever? The drama in Port Charles is reaching new heights, and every character is standing on the edge of a precipice. Tune in for the next thrilling installment of General Hospital to witness all the shocking developments firsthand. Next, we will dive into one of the most controversial discussions in Port Charles: Jason Morgan's role as a father and whether he has truly been there for his son, Danny. While he is often hailed as a hero and Sonny Corinthos' most trusted enforcer, some argue that his devotion to his job has come at a significant cost. Let's break it all down. Is Jason Morgan too busy being a hero to be a father? For years, Jason Morgan has been celebrated as one of the most formidable forces in Port Charles. A man of action, he is widely respected for his ability to handle dangerous situations with precision, loyalty, and strength. However, there's one glaring contradiction in his persona. While he can be relied upon to save lives and protect his allies, is he truly as dependable when it comes to his own family? Time and time again, Jason has demonstrated unwavering commitment to his duties as Sonny's right-hand man, often prioritizing mob business and the welfare of others over the emotional well-being of his own son, Danny Morgan. His absence during critical moments raises a difficult question: is Jason Morgan's dedication to everyone but his family a fatal flaw? Danny Morgan's loss: a son left in the shadows. The heartbreak Danny Morgan recently endured was compounded by one devastating reality: his father was nowhere in sight when he needed him the most. Alexis Davis, a woman with her own turbulent past, was left with the difficult task of informing Danny that his mother, Sam McCall, had been murdered by the ruthless Cyrus Renault. One would expect Jason to be the first person by his son's side, offering comfort, support, and a fatherly presence in the wake of such a profound loss. Instead, he was conspicuously absent, choosing instead to visit Michael Corinthos in Germany. This decision sent a strong message, intentional or not, about Jason's priorities. While no one can argue his loyalty to those he considers family, this situation begs the question: why was supporting Michael more important than consoling his grieving son? Misplaced priorities: why is Jason raising Michael's child instead of his own? Another puzzling aspect of Jason's life is his ever-growing role in Michael Corinthos' life. Over the years, Jason has positioned himself as a paternal figure to Michael, taking responsibility for his safety and well-being. This would make perfect sense if Michael were without support, but Michael has always had a strong family network, including Carly Spencer and Willow Tate. And yet, Jason appears more invested in helping Michael raise his child with Sasha Gilmore than in actively being present for Danny. What has led Jason to make this choice? Is it simply a matter of being too detached from his own past relationships, or does he see Michael as a reflection of himself, a young man trying to navigate a complicated life filled with dangerous enemies? This decision has not gone unnoticed by General Hospital fans, many of whom have begun to question whether Jason has emotionally disconnected from his own responsibilities. Will Jason ever change his ways? The real concern now is whether Jason will ever step up and acknowledge that his priorities are out of order. If history has taught us anything, it's that Jason has always been the man who shows up when it matters, but rarely before it's too late. He has always been reactive rather than proactive in personal matters, often leaving his loved ones stranded in times of emotional distress. Danny has already lost his mother. His father is the one person who should be there for him right now. Yet Jason remains distracted by outside obligations, once again placing others above his own flesh and blood. Will he finally realize that his son needs him more than anyone else? Will he break the cycle and become the father Danny deserves? Only time will tell. But if Jason continues down this path of emotional detachment, he may find himself at a crossroads where repairing his relationship with Danny becomes impossible. What's next for Jason Morgan? As General Hospital continues to unfold, the dynamics of Jason's life remain uncertain. Will he come to terms with his failures as a father before it's too late? Or will he continue down this path, prioritizing duty and loyalty over the personal connections that truly matter? The one thing that remains clear is that General Hospital fans will have to tune in each and every day to see how this ongoing struggle plays out. One decision could change everything for Jason and Danny, but will Jason recognize that before it's too late? Next, we're diving into a fascinating discussion about the blurred lines between actors and their on-screen personas. How often do fans confuse their favorite soap stars with the characters they portray? Maurice Benard, the long-standing face of Sunny Corinthos on General Hospital, recently tackled this very issue on his podcast, State of Mind. His conversation with co-star Carlo Rota, who plays the nefarious Jen Sidwell, sheds light on the struggles actors face when audiences can't separate fiction from reality. But this isn't a new phenomenon. Other GH actors have also shared bizarre and even shocking encounters with passionate fans. Let's break it all down. When fiction bleeds into reality, the Cameron Matheson incident. Before diving into Maurice Benard's take on the issue, let's take a moment to recall another General Hospital alum's surreal experience with an overly invested fan. As previously reported, Cameron Matheson, who has played the charming yet controversial Drew Kane, recently shared a jaw-dropping story while appearing on The Jennifer Hudson Show. Matheson recounted an unforgettable moment when an irate fan, clearly dissatisfied with his character's actions, took things to a whole new level by throwing an apple at him in public. The fan's anger was so visceral that it extended beyond the screen and into real life, turning an innocent grocery store trip into a bizarre showdown. This encounter perfectly illustrates just how seriously some viewers take the storylines unfolding on their screens. While soap operas thrive on emotionally charged drama, sometimes that passion spills over in unexpected ways, reminding actors just how deeply their roles impact devoted fans. Maurice Benard on the challenges of playing a villainous hero. Maurice Benard, who has embodied the complex character of Sunny Corinthos since 1993, is no stranger to audience perceptions being skewed by on-screen personas. His portrayal of Sunny, a man who oscillates between being a ruthless mob boss and a deeply loyal family man, has often left fans divided. Some see him as a misunderstood anti-hero, while others condemn him as a criminal who rarely faces real consequences. With 3 decades of experience on General Hospital, Benard understands better than most what it means to play a role that challenges viewers' emotions. Sonny has done some pretty unforgivable things over the years, and yet, because of Benard's layered performance, many fans remain fiercely loyal to the character. But does that loyalty extend to Benard himself? Or do some fans struggle to separate the man from the mobster? This question was at the forefront of his mind when he recently sat down for an episode of State of Mind with Carlo Rota, a relatively new addition to the GH universe. The podcast that sparked a debate, Maurice Benard and Carlo Rota speak out. Maurice Benard's State of Mind podcast has become a must-watch for soap opera fans, offering behind-the-scenes insights and candid discussions with fellow actors. Recently, Benard invited Carlo Rota, who portrays the menacing Jen Sidwell on General Hospital, for an eye-opening conversation about the difficulties of playing a villain in the soap world. Before the episode even aired, Benard took to social media, via X, formerly Twitter, to share an intriguing message about Rota. He acknowledged that, at first, he found it difficult to separate the actor from his despicable on-screen character. "I'm really glad that Carlo Rota, who plays Sidwell on GH, is on State of Mind," Benard wrote. "His character is so evil and distasteful that I had trouble separating the person from the character." This confession was striking because it mirrored the very phenomenon that fans experience. Viewers often see an actor's performance and assume they must be similar in real life. But as Benard quickly learned, Rota is nothing like the corrupt and conniving Sidwell. Carlo Rota, the man behind the villains. During their discussion, Rota provided a fascinating perspective on his acting philosophy. He admitted that he has often been typecast as a villain but sees this as an exciting challenge rather than a burden. "I played a lot of bad guys," Rota noted. "But, from the start, I made a decision. If this is going to be my thing, then I'm going to embrace it." However, Rota was quick to clarify that he never plays a bad guy in the way audiences might expect. "I will never play a bad guy," he emphasized. Instead, he believes in creating depth and nuance in every role. "No one," he argued, "wakes up in the morning believing they are the villain in their own story. Every character, no matter how ruthless, has motivations, fears, and, in some cases, even a moral code. I always try to make my characters charming and approachable," Rota added, explaining that even the most sinister figures should have layers that make them compelling. This insight may explain why his portrayal of Jen Sidwell has struck a nerve with fans. His character is not just evil for the sake of being evil but feels unsettlingly real. Why fans struggle to separate actors from their roles. Benard and Rota's conversation sheds light on a larger issue within the entertainment industry. Why do fans sometimes struggle to differentiate between fiction and reality? Soap operas, more than any other genre, immerse audiences in long-running, deeply personal storylines. Viewers spend years, sometimes decades, following their favorite characters through love, loss, betrayal, and redemption. These connections can become so intense that it's easy to forget the people behind the roles are simply actors doing their jobs. But while this level of investment is a testament to the power of great storytelling, it can also lead to some unexpected consequences. Whether it's Cameron Matheson getting pelted with fruit or Maurice Benard needing to remind himself that Carlo Rota isn't actually an evil mastermind, the line between fiction and reality is often thinner than we think. Final thoughts: the power of storytelling on General Hospital. Maurice Benard's conversation with Carlo Rota offers an important reminder: actors are not their characters, no matter how convincing their performances may be. While it's natural for audiences to develop strong opinions about on-screen personas, it's essential to remember that these talented individuals are simply bringing scripted stories to life. As General Hospital continues to introduce compelling villains and beloved heroes, one thing remains certain: the passion of soap opera fans will never fade. Whether they're showering their favorite stars with praise or, in rare cases, throwing apples at them in public, their dedication to the world of Port Charles is unmatched. For more behind-the-scenes insights, exclusive interviews, and the latest GH spoilers, stay tuned to ABC GH Spoilers channel. And remember, next time you see a soap villain stirring up trouble, just know that off-screen, they're probably just as charming as Carlo Rota.